This season might have been the most disappointing season in the Warriors franchise history. They weren't able to beat the Lakers and the Memphis Grizzlies in a play-in tournament, and they missed the playoffs, which was one of the most biggest disappointments. Steph Curry wasted another year of his prime, and now this team has to get better. But I just don't see how this team could be so good after Klay Thompson comes back. Honestly, a guy who's never played basketball in 2 straight years coming back doesn't make a team that hasn't been able to make the playoffs even with a 10-team play-in tournament to going to a championship contender or maybe even winning the finals. I just don't see how that can happen with a guy who hasn't played professional ball in 2 years, and the Warriors really need to do some other moves to obviously get themselves to the playoffs or even to the finals. They have to trade for some superstars, or they have to improve their bench dramatically, which is what we'll be talking today. So today we're going to be looking at ways that the Warriors can improve their team, or mostly trades that the Warriors can make to improve their team, because they do have the chance and the assets and the genius front office needed to do this. Obviously, this requires a lot of players like James Wiseman, their picks, and after that lottery got finalized, they do have a lot of trade assets, especially with that 7th and 14th pick. So today, we'll be looking at ways that the Warriors can improve their roster and maybe get back to winning that championship, at least getting that ring, because with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson all in their late 30s, it's gonna be really tough for them to win any multiple championships without any immediate help right now. So they're gonna try to get at least 1 or 2 more championships out of the best backcourt in NBA history, and they will also try to improve their young guys at the same time. So the first person they'll be trading for is Brandon Ingram, because Brandon Ingram is a guy who doesn't get talked about a lot. Clearly, he's a player that's always underrated, and he isn't really mentioned in these Warrior trade videos, but I think he deserves his role here. So he could play the Kevin Durant type role that Kevin Durant played before leaving, but on a much smaller scale. Obviously, he is no Kevin Durant, but he does have the abilities. And with Zion playing point guard for the Pelicans, it's given Ingram much less opportunities, which is why many believe that he might even demand a trade. So that's why the Warriors could go up and snag this Ingram with this kind of offer. So, the Warriors will get Brandon Ingram and Josh Hart, and the Pelicans will get Andrew Wiggins and James Wiseman in a sign-and trade. Clearly, this is a trade that gets rid of the Warriors' James Wiseman, but he hasn't been all that impressive, but he can turn out to be a potential superstar. And the Warriors have to trade their future if they want to win right now, and this is a win for the Pelicans considering they're getting another great defender, which they need in Andrew Wiggins, and a center who can potentially shoot the 3 ball really well, like James Wiseman. And that shooting ability is very well centered around Zion Williamson, because the Pelicans are currently looking for shooters who can space the floor with Zion playing inside the paint, because with another player in the paint, it could be tough for Zion to score, clogging the paint, much like a 76ers sort of type thing when they had Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. So a trade for Brandon Ingram is a really possible trade, and in my eyes is one of the most effective ways to improve this Golden State Warriors roster with just one move. Obviously, this isn't the only trade they can make, but it is one of the best offers they can make. Also, guys, make sure to check out my other YouTube video about trades that the Warriors can make. The link to that will be in the description. So this is just one of the first trades that the Warriors can make, one of the few trades the Warriors can make. And they have other assets like their picks and maybe even Draymond Green and other players. And they have 2 paths right now. They have either winning right now, as I stated earlier, or they can build for the future. And what I think they should do is I think they should win right now. They have to try to get 1 more championship out of this Steph Curry team. And now they have to, not just trade for another big superstar, but they have to trade for, solid role players, or maybe even potential stars, like all-stars, but not like superstars. And the perfect team to trade with in this case would be the Indiana Pacers. Considering that the Indiana Pacers have one of the most, I guess, like basic, like not really basic, but one of the most like weirdest rosters that's good, but is nowhere near winning a title right now. They can't win the title with their current roster, the Pacers. So the trade would look like the Warriors get Domantas Sabonis, Doug McDermott, and Miles Turner, while the Pacers get James Wiseman, Andrew Wiggins, and Kelly Oubre Jr. This is a trade to help the Warriors' bench and get a good, really good starting lineup with Curry and Clay at the guards. And then we have Draymond and Sabonis at the forwards, and then a defensive superstar in Miles Turner at the center. And that would be a perfect combination of offense and defense, which is what I think will win titles in today's game. They have the three-point shooting, they have the mid-range shooting, they have the people who can drive, they have the people who can score, they have the people who can defend, they have the people who can rebound, and they have the people who can pass. It's a team with the perfect balance, and their bench with Jordan Poole and other players such as Eric Pascal would also be really, really strong. Obviously, they're trading James Wiseman here one more time, but I cannot stress this enough. The Warriors have to try to get a championship with Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson instead of building for the future. They just have to. That's like the only path they have right now. And now, the final trade that we'll be looking at is, I can't make a video like this without including this guy. Obviously, he's injured right now, but he is one of the greatest offensive and defensive two-way players in this league. So, obviously, guys, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. We're talking about none other than the Claw, the Robot, the guy who won 2 championships, Kawhi Leonard. A 2-time Finals MVP, a 2-time NBA champion. He's always a great defender, great offender, and I just can't make a video like this without Kawhi Leonard. But the only reason I'm so maybe about this is because I don't really think Kawhi will leave, considering that he's born in LA and he's near home. So, if he's near home, I don't know why he would leave. He has a great relationship with the front office and the fans, and even if the Clippers lose this year, I don't think they should be blamed for that because Kawhi is technically injured right now with a right knee sprain, they're calling it. Some people call it a minor ACL tear. But with Kawhi being injured, he can't really do anything about that, and all they can do is try next year one more time. So, that's it for today's video, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe and like for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're one of the first 10 people to subscribe and join our Discord server, the link will be in the description below, then you are entered to win a PS5. So, guys, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.